Hey everyone, this is Tracy with Color Me This. I am finally back. Life is crazy, of course. I ended up with a very dry cough. I'm hoping today that the dry cough will be gone. And I didn't get back yesterday till quite late. And then between that and the dry cough, I thought it would be best to not push it. So here I am today. You can see I've got a whole bunch of colors selected for the rest of our 16 pencil set mini scene page. I am going to zoom in now. We will get close. I hope everyone is doing well. And here we are at our page. We, a couple days ago, completed the first 5, and I have now planned the rest of the entire page. It will take more than one sitting. Trying to get the lighting correct. And then we'll keep going. Break off for the next episode. This is episode 400, I believe. I cannot believe I am saying that. Let's just double check because it's so crazy. Yes, we are on episode 400 today. And the first image, let's zoom in a little bit more here. Onto this cute, I think it's a moth actually. And this set is going to be the Polychromos, and to challenge them, you'll notice that my colors don't matchy-match because I am just coloring each set of images different based on the set of pencils and the scene itself. So I am going to challenge myself to use only 5 pencils for coloring this moth. So I've got 3 moth tones that I will vary. We'll see how well I can do. Here they are. Crimson 134, Purple Violet 136, Delft Blue 141. So we will play around with these 3, and then I'll share with you the leaf colors. I actually did some sharpening of my pencils, found my sharpener. Everything had to be put away when I left because it was going to be Hub and the kitten, and so my space needed to be squeaky clean. So I finally have unearthed everything that I had carefully put away. I am going to be doing some light to dark and then alternating with dark to light. And what I mean by that is this is going to be dark. These are an oil-based professional pencil, so they like to do light layers. You can push them. I know there are people who do heavy pressure with them, but I have always found, for me, that doing the light layers works best. It is just what I am comfortable with. So there's just going to be a lot of alternating of tones, and then at the end I'm going to do a little splash of something fun on the moth. We're having some very cold mornings here. I think it was 40 yesterday, but it is getting into the high 70s each afternoon, which is nice. I just left North Carolina, which was burr cold. Even Raleigh, where we drove for the convention, it was so cold there. I did not bring enough variety of warm clothes. I did have lots of layers, so that was nice. And at the very last minute, I actually packed a coat. I wasn't even going to pack a coat. I'm so glad I did. I would have been miserable. So I'm very glad to be back in my preferred climate. Hub was busy with the kitten the whole week. So I'm going to take this, trying to get some depth. This is going to be the Delft blue. I'm going to sharpen that a little bit. Okay, now I am going to get some of this middle tone. Moving on to the pink. It's called Crimson. Some of the colors of these professional pencil sets are very unusual to me. Crimson to me is red, but crimson to Polychromos is this color. Basically a hot pink fuchsia color. I hope you guys are going to enjoy my surprise off the beaten path color I will add. So now I want to take the Delft blue and come from the opposite side. I think one of my favorite topics in this book to color are her butterflies and moths. I'm in a quiet mood today, I can tell. Fully concentrating. All right, so I have that last little chunk, and that is going to be, I think I want to lighten the, we're now getting sun. Let's see here. Ooh, that's too much. Okay, so going with the crimson. So this is just alternating color tones, light to dark, dark to light. And I am leaving this light. All right, that is the body. Now let's look at the leaves. I've got 2 more colors for this whole image, and it is going to be 170 May Green and Permanent Green Olive 167. So this is my shadow green. And then I toyed with the accent color for the remaining bits on the moth. I toyed with orange, yellow, but ultimately thought I want to keep this simple. So I am doing green. So this is the darker green in the little nooks. And then the light green. And this little moth is done. With 5 colors. And I will have the colors in the description. All right, so we're going to move on over here. I am going to pause because I see the sun is coming in. All right, next we have Castle Arts Pasteltints, and this is going to be yet another interesting challenge for myself. I am using no blended tones, simply an array of colors, all pastels. Well, one is kind of a dark lavender. So this is what they look like all the way through. I will say that the only pencil today, a couple of them are on the white, and I mean on a light base with the white lettering, and it's hard to read, so you'll see that I do put my, that's a Brother Label Maker number. So we've got 3 Saffron, Foxglove 11, Coral Blush 8, Hydrangea 40, Savannah 24, and Lobelia 37. And there they all are. And we're just gonna get to playing with this fine hot air balloon. Ah, missing one. I also have, for the clouds, I have Winterberry 47. Okay, that was the yellow, which is saffron. Moving on to the pink. Now we're on to Coral Blush, and the pink was Foxglove. Lots of cute little flowers. I believe this image is also in the very front of the book, so it is the second time I've colored this image. I am coloring in threes. Twos and threes looks like. The pink, I actually have a third I can put right up here. This is the yellow again for the basket. And I am going to make the balloon itself. There's no leaves, so I am going to make the balloon itself green. All right, I am going to add a little gray for these clouds. And then the very last bit that I want to do is some sky. I'm going to sharpen that. These are not quite as soft as the Brutfuner macarons. A little bit harder to work to remove the tooth. I think you can probably see that there is some tooth that needs to be removed, and that'll just take a little extra layering, where the Brutfuner goes down faster, I think. The colors of both sets are fantastic. But I think for the price, that's a better price for the Brutfuner 50 than it is. It's quite a bit less expensive. I got mine through AliExpress, so you have to wait a little bit to get them. But I think it's worth the wait for the value that you get. So I'm just doing the sky here and there, not the whole thing. We're going to call this one done. So I can keep working the sky if I wanted to remove the tooth. This is quite bright. If I wanted to have it be lighter, there is a lighter blue or two available if I wanted to really work this and hide all of the tooth with lighter tones of blue, but I wanted to keep this one pretty simple. So I am going to just call it and move on to the next one. There we go. I've got a bigger image next, so I'm going to move out a little bit. I'm going to move toward the jar. Now this one's going to be a fun one because it is going to be one of my newest sets, the Brutfuner Fluorescent. And I have picked out, looks like 7 pencils. So we just have leaves. We will start with the green. I did not pre-sharpen these. I think I grabbed my sharpener later. It feels so good to be coloring, you guys. I enjoy card making, but my new passion is definitely coloring. I dearly missed it. And right at the point where I really wanted to be coloring, because we're so close to the end of Small Victories. So basically I have 3 greens. I've got a limey green. Here, let's show you the colors. So bud green 47, light blue green 43, and light green moss 42. Love the foil, the blue foil. These are fantastic looking pencils. Looks aren't everything, but if it was, these pencils would have an advantage just because of the choice of foil color. And it is easy to read, which is also nice. So these are a very translucent, not very opaque laydown. So the color payout on these isn't as strong as some other sets, but they still are a fun, soft pencil to work with. The formula is still nice and pleasant. What I haven't done is you could probably do some, if you needed a more opaque look, you could certainly mix these with some regular pencils, and I think that there would be a good result. So now we're going to get to this wonderful, vibrant, bright green. So this is going to be super simple. All right, so that used 2 colors. The middle green, this one, which is called light blue green, is actually used for a different purpose. So now I'm going to pair that color with River Blue 33 and Lake Blue 35. And I am going to start by using the darkest blue here to create as close to some shadowing as I can get. I also want some nice shadows where there's little dots around the edges of the jar. And I also want some shadows here underneath the jar top. I did not have a lot of color choices for a top, so we're going to have to go with what I had available. I'm now moving to this lightest blue, River Blue. And I am using very light pressure. This is nice and sharp. Still feels like not a lot of pigment goes down with these unless you either apply more layers or add more pressure. They're not I would not call these a super easy pencil set to use. You have to be willing to put in a little extra time to get everything out of them. So I do have that blue-green. So I want to introduce this blue-green, light blue-green 43. And I want to glaze over the top of those blues to get a little hint of the green. For just a little more depth of color. I will be, for all of the glass elements, I'll be going through doing white. I still think that I may do a little bit of the white with you. Probably not in episode 401 when I finish up the coloring, but perhaps when I start 402, I'll start off with just a little bit. I'm not going to do all of them, but I might do a couple of them with you. And then I will finish up the white on my own. All right. So there we have our lovely bluey jar. Very cute. And then, again, I didn't have a lot of color choices for this top. Sorry, we are not focused. I don't know how that, or when it lost its focus. So this is yellow. It is yellow number 4. I don't know if you guys noticed, but a lot of number 4 in pencil sets is yellow. I don't know who started it, but it's very common. All right, then to add somewhat of a shadow, I've got Banana Cream 10. As I said, there's not really a lot of shadow colors in the set, so I have to just pretend. And I am using heavy pressure because it's very translucent. All right, so that's it. The jar is done, and we are moving right along. We have finished 3. All right, so the next row, we have this lovely, this is probably the most intricate image to do with the most colors. So this is using the Brutfuner squares. I have very high expectations of them, as I always do. They are my favorite budget pencil brand and the first budget set I ever bought. So I'm going to do some fun color combos using a yellow, which is not number 4, number 2, and number 6. These do not have, they have Chinese names. I do not have the translations, and I only have the Chinese version. It seems that you can't get these in the US right now, so there's no chance yet at this moment in time of getting an English translated version. I have, for part of my color combo, I've got 2, 6, and then I am adding 102, which looks like it's a brown, but it is a burgundy. And I will show you the fun things I want to do. I thought it would be fun to show the manipulation of color that you can get with these. So I did research echinacea. I have this lovely image of echinacea with anything from yellow to orange to like a deep fiery red. And that's what I am going to do with my, there are 3 echinaceas, and then I am going to continue doing some variety of colors with the daisy type flowers. All right, to get the ends on that to look a little more orangey, I am going to mix in some yellow. And I do want a little yellow echinacea right here. There we go. 3 different color tones. Dark red, fiery red to orange, and yellow. Next, I am going to do a light layer of yellow. In fact, just for fun, I'm going to make all 3 of the large petal flowers yellow, but very light. Just like so. Now I'm going to take number 6 on this one. This is also a light layer. Now I'm going to come in with the yellow and I'm going to burnish. And it should be a lovely shade of orange without me having to pull an orange pencil to work with. There we go. These blend very nicely. The next one, I want it to be a little more fiery at the center. Like so, and then again I'm going to burnish with yellow. Let's see what we get with a little heavier red, number 6. Oops, that's a heavy pressure. These don't break very often. There we go. And then now I am happy with this being yellow, and I can brighten it up at this point. Very cute. Then my last big flower, I want this lovely purpley color, 105. This is more traditional echinacea color, which I did not go with. So the daisy is going to be traditional. All right, I'm going to leave that as it is. I've got 2 colors for the floral centers. I want that echinacea look, which is an orangey tone, so I have 22 and 25. 22 is the base color of orangey. For depth, I am using 22. That was 25 that I just put down. All right, moving on, we've got 2 greens. So 2 greens here, 80 and 76. 80 is going to be my darker color. And 76 is the lighter. And then the last little bit, 2 blues. I am going to make the teacup bands of light and dark blue, 37 and 36. First, I'm just going to do a light layer on the sides of this light blue. And then I'm going to come in with the dark. And the dark is going to be the top. And every other one. And the bottom. Now I'm going to take my light blue burnish a little bit of the dark. I'm going to soften as I hit the center. I see there's a little bit of orange there. I'm going to just leave it a little bit of orange with crumb probably. These can be a little bit on the crumby side. And that is going to be finished. All right, I'm going to keep going. We're going to go a little bit long because we're at 45 minutes. And I'm going to at least get the next one, but I'd love to get the next 2 done. So we're doing a metallic. This is going to be, so the Brutfuner squares, as you can see, are very vibrant. Love them. Love them dearly. All right, metallic. We're going with Castle Arts Metallic this time. We've already done the very first jar, was done with the 72 set of Brutfuner. So let's see. I've only used the Brutfuner Metallics a couple of times. So we're going to go with traditional mushroom color. I love that it is growing out of a pencil. And so my color tones are going to be a burgundy right here, number 13, Bloodstone, followed by a lighter tone called Honey Bronze 44. So I hope, if I move this over now, that I can get these lines to do some shadowing. It's very delicate, so I'm not sure how much I will be able to accomplish, but that's my goal. And every one of these is going to have this darker bloodstone color. That is just the cutest little mushroom ever there. These have that lovely mica feel to them. They put down color pretty easily. Still a muted palette. This is the brownish tone. This color is the Honey Bronze. And I do have one lighter tone just to do a little bit of, that's pretty gold though. We will see if I want to keep that. I did not do that on my sample. I thought it would be fun to give it a little golden hue because this color, which is Vegas Gold 29, is of course going to be my star color. I have another tone, Melange, which is an orangey color, 27. And between these two, they are the stem tone. It's a little windy out there. Alright, so we've got these cute little metallic mushrooms. They look mica to me. don't really have a metallic look to them. And then the next color tone is, oh, I do want the end of the pencil to have a tan. So we don't have a lot of colors, we're only using 6. Now I'm doing this lovely green for the pencil color, African Jade 48. And that's all I'm going to do there. And the final color is Galaxy Blue number 6. And I am going to do a little bit of a background. Using some ovals. Watch your pressure because they do actually put out a lot of pigment. So trying to get it somewhat smooth is easier with less pressure. Like I should move my hand. I just moved my hand way back to help me keep my pressure light and consistently light. Using the pencils with your hand way back on the barrel takes a little getting used to, but it is very helpful when you're trying to get nice, really soft edges. So I'm going to keep the blue on the insides of all these stems. That's my strategy. Keeping it pretty well contained. I am skimming over the top of the stems. They've already got the tooth full, so the color should kind of glide over the top and not really change the brown. I like that about these. All right. And that is done. I could go back in and work more on the dark of the background if I wanted to. So we'll see if I come back and want to do that before I come and do the white. I'm not sure if I want to give myself homework at this point, but that is finished. I wanted to get one more completed. We've done 5. We have 6 left. I think I'm going to go ahead and stop, and I will do the 6 on the next one. So do all of the YouTube things, like, share, comment, consider subscribing. I hope you enjoyed coloring with me today. I don't know if on day 1 I picked a winner. The winner for me is probably going to have been the Evazar, if I didn't already say that, which is this up at the top here, all the way up at the top. That was not day 1's favorite. And then according to what I just did, it's a toss-up. I am going to say that the Brutfuner squares for today, and then second place is going to be the Polychromos. I'm very happy with the moth and my color selection, but the Brutfuner really was enjoyable to color and to make the variations of the yellow, orange to red, mixing the yellow and red together. So that is it for today. I'm going to move right along here to the next episode. Everybody take care. I hope to see you there.